Hello beauties, welcome back to the vlog. This week we are talking about communication, and today we're going to talk about a big component in communication, which is consistency. There's a great vlog out there, and there's a couple of blogs about this too, that talk about the 3 C's of customer satisfaction. Guess what they are? Consistency, consistency, consistency. And I've read that in several articles, and it makes me chuckle, but it's so true. When I was a kid, I got to attend a Disney camp. And for those of you who don't know, Disney puts on a variety of camps for kids. Some of them are leadership, some of them are engineering. They do all kinds of stuff. And I grew up in Southern Cal, and so I went to one of these. And one of the things that one of the speakers said at the camp was that doing something well the first time is easy. It's doing it the same way, just as well, every time that's hard. And that has stuck with me my whole life, and it's so true. It's so difficult to make the second time you do something as good as the first. And we had a conversation in the office here. I'm not sure if I shared this with you, so it may be a repeat for you. But talking about Broadway. So the Broadway stars, right? If you go and see a Broadway show and you fly to New York and you've saved and that's your trip and you go and it's the end of a Broadway run, you expect to have an incredible show, right? Because it's the first time you've ever maybe seen a Broadway show on Broadway. It's a huge deal. But if you're a performer in that show, it might be your 45th show or your 100th show or more than that. It depends. Some of these are really long-running shows. How do you give the same energy, the same consistency? How do you do that? Is that performance customer service? Is that experience that you have? Is that about customer service? That consistency? How do you do that here? You know, there was a place that I worked a few years ago where we talked about every single person in the company was an interaction with our brand, and that a reputation of that brand could be continued or broken with one interaction. So whether you come into Lunar, now we'll put it in the context of our company, you came into Lunar and talked to Carol, our office administrator, or whether you talked to Eric, who did video production, or you talked to an account manager like Mackie or Colby, or a product owner or an engineer or anyone else that's here, we would expect you to have the same feeling, the same experience with each of them, even though they do very different things for us and work on very different things for your company. Because the consistency in your experience matters to us. And consistency is communication. I'll see you tomorrow.